What's up, folks? So today's the second day. What I did, it was a pain in the ass, but I wound up getting a lot of the oil out of it. The plan today is the ultimate, obviously get the head off, but what I want to do is get it cleaned up to the point where if I can get that cylinder head squeaky clean at the top, get the solvent in there, get all that oil broken down and removed from the walls, then when I do start up to pull it back in the garage, I snatch the head off. I should be able to maybe see some signs of some sort of trail, some evidence. So I went through a gallon. This is the second gallon now of Purple Power. I've just put it in the radiator little by little and just kept flushing it out. So right now, like this, you can see it's purple, and I got some water here, and it's way better than what it was. Trust me, it's way better. And I'm just letting this stuff soak. See, it's purple. It helped a lot. So I'm just gonna let this sit in there while I do the cylinder head, so it'll constantly just keep breaking that old oil that's sitting there down. So when I do officially drain all this stuff out and get it back running, all I gotta do is pull it out, just let it drain that Purple Power and water out, so it should be squeaky clean, and carry on with the repair just like normal. So I'm gonna pour a little more in there, because I only got like a little bit left out of this second gallon. I ain't got much left. I'm just gonna let that sit right there. Leave that alone. I know I'm gonna have to get a new radiator cap. Because like I say, when I tell you everything gets swollen, it swells everything. Even the radiator cap seal is swollen. Look at the cap in the back where it rests on the radiator. It's just not, it's not right. So that's gonna get replaced too. All right. Let me show you what I'm doing. I got the upper radiator hose just in the back, and mind you, yesterday we wound up taking the thermostat out. The last little gallon. Yesterday we pulled the thermostat, and I can just I was trying to let everything flow freely. So right now, see how clean it is. It's as good as it's gonna get. There's some little chunks coming out. Yeah, I can see some of the Purple Power and what looked like, some of it looked like a stop leak. If you hold it close enough, you'll be able to see some little sparkly bits. Let me show you. Yeah, so this is what we're left with. I mean, it's way better than what it was. I mean, it was horrible. It was very, very bad, very bad. I got a lot of oil out the hose, but I'm still replacing the upper and lower radiator hose. So these are gonna get replaced. The lower radiator hose is gonna get replaced, and some of these other heater hoses in the back, they're gonna get replaced too. I can leave this small one. I'm gonna check this one that goes to the back of the coolant pipe. Make sure they're not swollen and worn out. But let me take some compressed air, get all that Purple Power out, and you'll be able to see that the water is actually clear. That's the last little bit. And it don't matter where it gets onto, because I mean, that oil got in so many places. that whatever the purple power get is just gonna break that oil down anyway. So that's the last little bit I'm gonna do for this to get that oil out the cylinder head. The rest, there should be a drain down on the block. If I recall properly, I should be able to remove that and get all the residual out at the lowest point when I get the head off. But in the meantime, I'm gonna pull it back in because we know it's clean. The little time it's gonna be running when I pull it in, it's gonna get a little oil in there, but we'll be able to at least see which channel is coming from, and then we can get a better idea. Hopefully, I'm hoping it's coming from like the head gasket only, and then when we pull the head off, we'll see the head gasket compromised in the center because the oil squirt jet should be in that area right there, if I recall. Then we'll go from there. So I'll see you in a little bit. All right, we're getting extremely close to taking the head off. I already got the head bolts loose, so technically I'm ready to take the bolts out, elevate the head, and we can actually get a first look at the head gasket. But first, let me tell you one thing that I've been through. I've never had happen before. I gotta take this retainer bolt off from the exhaust, and that thing broke off. I ain't never seen nothing like that. Let me see if I got it up here. Oh, here you go. Yeah, this little chunk broke off. I said, please don't be cracked. I was like, I've never had a Honda break here. Why? It was never a stress point like that. Because the bolts for the exhaust manifold hold themselves on. Unless what happened, whoever worked on this last had to pull the exhaust down, and when they bolted this up, they wound up tightening the this retainer bolt, and then when they tightened up the exhaust manifold bolts, it pulled it and broke it. So that's the only thing that, like the press type issue that caused it to break. But luckily, you know, the block doesn't seem cracked. Gosh, I'm hoping. I've never had that. Luckily, Honda put a lot of meat right there. I'm glad. Anyway, let me get this camera set up. We're gonna take them bolts out. Let's look at this head gasket because I ain't got but like 15 more minutes, and we're gonna see exactly, hopefully, see exactly what had happened. Head is off. Now just inspecting the deck, I don't see anything out of the ordinary. It's probably, I don't think this is any burn marks, nothing crazy. There's a slight burn mark there. Nothing, there's one right there. Maybe, I guess. Nothing crazy though. You see the milkshake down at the bottom, gotta get that out. But I don't see any oil control jet. I gotta work on locating that. The only other place is gonna be in the head, but I swear there's supposed to be a oil control jet in here, unless this one just don't have it. And naturally, I did break the knock sensor, so I will have to get a new one of those. No big deal. Let's get the head turned upside down and we can inspect that. So let me figure out how to get that prop because I know oil's gonna come out. That's why I was stuffing rags in the back. I might just tip it up. Hold on one second. All right, we're at the base of the cylinder head. I was inspecting where this bottom portion mates with the block. And I mean, I don't see anything like sticking out like a sore thumb besides just the old head gasket. So let me explain how this works. This is where our oil enters here. And just to add before I go any further, I've seen engines with oil control jets, but I guess this doesn't have that. It's probably just regulated with just the natural oil pressure with the regarding the clearances of this motor. So the oil jet's going to be irrelevant right now because we're either dealing with cracks in this head or either broken gasket from here, and there's probably some integration into the coolant jackets, but it doesn't seem to be any ruptured areas here. So the oil enters here, and when it enters there, it goes behind this head gasket here, enters the bolt. So the bolt is thin at the body of it. So I'll pull this off. The body of the bolt, when it sits in, it has clearance around the body. The oil goes up here. I'll be able to show you. There's a hole right there, and that's where it starts getting distributed to the cam and the vital components. So with that said, if it's not blown from here to around this area, then we unfortunately, and I'm saying unfortunately, may be dealing with a crack in the cylinder head. So what the machine shop will do is pressure test the oil jackets, and if there's an issue, I'm pretty sure it will reveal itself. However, they decide to pressure test this in the vat of water or whatever. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they will determine if there's a crack in the head. So I'm gonna put my trust in the machine shop at this point, because it's just not going to be anything in the block. The issue that I've dealt with before was likely going to be in the head. In the one case, since I paid for Identifix, I did find somebody dealing with what I did. Somebody replaced the head gasket, somebody replaced the engine. So it's like 50-50, you know. So I don't know. And this is where the machine shop come into play, because they'll do their part in figuring it out. So the head's off. I don't see anything blatant, which I would have liked, because again, this is my first time going through this particular issue, because I didn't have traditional head gasket issues, but I can't help but to correlate it with the blown head gasket, because we did do a gas test and it showed signs of it. But maybe that could have been hydrocarbons attached to the oil, and since it was attached to the oil, the fumes probably mixed with the testing liquid and it turned the color. So I guess I don't know. So at the moment, we're halfway. In the meantime, while this is at the machine shop, today is Saturday, I will be dropping this off at the machine shop Monday. And while it's there, I'm gonna go ahead and clean everything, replace some seals, because like this one here, like I'll tell you, when the oil get to it, that's it. You can hang it up. Look at that. Look how swollen this is. Oil got on it and swelled it up. And I'm gonna be honest, if you leave it, you're fine, because it's in its confined spot and it's swollen where it is. So technically the O-ring up going behind the water pump, I could just leave in there. This is as long as you don't touch it, you're okay. And we'll be in good shape, because logically, I mean, I would have to replace every single gasket on here that was coolant related, and this just, honestly, I hate to say it, I'll just rather fix it as I go in the future, because once I get this back together and we determine that the head there has no leaks in the head and everything's fine with that, then, you know, I'm gonna do my pressure test. After I put everything back together, I still got to do a coolant flush, and I'm gonna do a couple of those, and we in good shape. I'm just gonna replace all the O-rings gaskets, stuff that I got loose, the hoses that I have that are accessible, and the sensors that I broke. We'll go from there. So just stay updated. The grand finale is when it comes from the machine shop. That's the grand finale. They'll tell me everything I need to know. Well, right now it's looking promising that we just have a traditional blown head gasket. Cross your fingers. Hey, if anything happened, I'll definitely update. But hit that link, subscribe to the channel, stay informed. Had a rich and smart. See you next one.